Okay guys, welcome back to episode 2 of, sorry, my cat is right here. You can see her. That's Kate. She's probably gonna meow. But this is episode 2 of Books and Booze. I made myself an Aperol Spritz, a little Appy Spritz. And we're gonna talk about the books that I've read this year thus far that I recommend. Normally I would do a monthly reading wrap up every month, but I have completely dropped the ball and I was so behind on uploading that I just could not make myself film another video knowing it was just going to get pushed back when I uploaded it. So now is me finally caught up on uploading and ready to film something new for y'all for some book content. I just uploaded me reorganizing my bookshelves, so that's super exciting. Sorry, my room is a little bit messy. I got back from Easter with my family a few days ago, but we're just gonna hop right in. So far this year, I have read 29 books. I did do a January reading wrap up. I believe, I would have to go back and check. I said that confidently and now I don't remember. But yes, I have read almost 30 books and it is halfway through April at this point. So I'm going to tell you which books out of those 30 I recommend. So this is going to be mostly 4 and 5 stars. I don't have time to go through all of the books, and ones that are less than 4 stars, I'm just going to say I'm not recommending them. So let's hop in with my 4 and 5 star books that I've read this year so far. I have 17 books that I ranked 4 or 5 stars out of the 29 that I have read. So let's get into it. I won't give completely thorough reviews, just an overview. These first few I talked about in my January reading wrap up, so I'm just going to speed through them. First we have When in Rome by, let's see if it'll focus. Oh, come on. When in Rome, there we go, by Sarah Adams. Sorry about this, you guys. This one's 4 stars for me. Yeah, it's a really cute, sweet Sarah Adams. I would classify it as like in between young adult and adult romance. There's not too much spice and there's still a really sweet story. I love this one. It's like movie star and small town boy trope. Very sweet. Next we have Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which is the fourth Bridgerton book. I skipped the first 3 because they have made shows out of the first 2 books and I didn't really want to read the 3rd one. So I skipped to Colin and Penelope's story, which is what they're making season 3 of Bridgerton out of. So I'm very excited to watch the show now that I've read the book. This one was 4 stars and I really loved it. Next, if you know me and you've been following this channel for a while, you know I love hockey romance. And this is not hockey, but it's ice skating, and honestly that's the same thing to me. Anything with skating on the ice. This is From Lukov with Love. This one I give 5 stars. Originally, I was going back and forth between 4 and 5, but I could not get this book out of my head. And that's when you know it's a 5-star book. When you keep thinking about it, it put me in a reading slump. I was like, I don't want to read anything else. This was so good. Such a slow burn. Like when I tell you, the slowest of slow burns. If you don't like slow burn, just skip past this book. Like seriously, it was agonizing at times, but 5 stars because of it, because of the build up to it. And yeah, it's ice skating pairs, enemies to lovers, great vibes. Next we have If We Were Villains. This is by M.L. Rio, and this is a what I would say like thriller, and This was on the verge between 3 and 4, so this is a lower end of the 4-star one for me. There's a lot of Shakespeare references in this, and it's very intellectual, honestly, so it takes a lot of brain power, and sometimes I need that, and other times I'm like, get that away from me. So take it with a grain of salt. It is really good, and I was not sure who the killer was until the very end. There was lots of twists and turns. It kept me on the edge of my seat. So for that reason, it was 4 stars. Next, we have Something in the Air by Suzanne Enoch. You can't really see that. It's not really focusing. I'm not sure if turning up the brightness is better. It's not. Let's turn it down. Oh, so much better. Something in the Air by Susan Enoch. This one's 4 stars. It was really good, but I needed some more spice. I love a Regency book, but give me some spice. Give me some, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Some stolen moments. Because that's the thing about Regency. They're always stolen moments because they're so, like, conservative, and, like, you're not supposed to, like, do anything before marriage. So everything is, like, so much more, there's so much more intensity to the moments because they're in secret, and I love that about Regency era, like, romance books. This one, it was missing that, but it was still really sweet, and like I said, I love Regency. I've read quite a few recently, so I gave that one 4 stars. Next, we have Begin Again by Emma Lord, and this is a young adult, which is shocking because I'm usually not a young adult girly. If you know me, I read a lot of adult books. Because I love a spicy moment. But this, honestly, Emma Lord, I've read all of her books. Her characters are so lovable and so good. Like, I get so connected and drawn into the story. There's a really cute romance, but it's also like, I was crying. There is tears involved. Like, it's so sweet and so good. Like, 5 stars. And no spice. So I highly recommend to all ages. Begin Again, very good. Next we have To Sir Philip with Love, and this is Bridgerton book 5, and this is Eloise's story. This one is 4 stars. I devoured this one. I absolutely think I read it in one day. Like, that's the thing about, like, I get some of these like spicy Regency books on Kindle, and I'm just flying through them because I'm reading it all the time, like on my phone, on my Kindle, wherever I am. I have it with me on locked. So I flew through this one. It's 4 stars. I love Eloise's personality. I think we have a similar personality, so it's really fun and relatable to have like a spunky main character like that. So 4 stars for that one. Next, I read You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. And this one is 4 stars. This is, I guess I would classify it as adult romance. There's really not that much spice. The couple is engaged, but they kind of hate each other, and it's like them falling back in love, and it's so sweet. Like, I honestly felt bad for the main guy, which I never feel bad for the guy. I'm always team girl 100%, because women are right always. But in this one, I kind of have to give a few points to the men because she was a monster at times, and he was very good to her. So 4 stars for that one. Next, we have Rule of Wolves, which is the King of Scars duology, book 2, and I skipped over King of Scars, which is the first book. That one was 4 stars, and this one is 5 stars. It's a duology. It's set in the same world as the Shadow and Bone and 6 of Crows. So if you've read those, definitely check this one out. I really liked it. It had a lot of those characters come back, which is so sweet and special to me because I was not ready to say goodbye to them when their series ended. So it was good to see them again in this one. Next, this one's kind of out of focus. we have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. And Beth O'Leary, I've read a few of her books now, and she always has this like similar feeling in her books that's like, I don't know, there is always a deeper part of it, and like something that you like don't really know that's like everyone else knows but you don't know, and you don't find kind of out until the end. This one and The No-Show are the same in that way, where it's like you're kind of going back and forth between like these different timelines, and something has happened but we don't know what it is, and we don't find out why until the end. Anyway, it is a romance. It's not too spicy though. I would call this more literary fiction than romance. So, keep that in mind. That one was 4 stars. Next we have Georgie All Along. This is by Kate Claiborne, and this was a book of the month book for me. So shout out book of the month. It's always hard for me to read them because I hate hardback books and I just would rather pick up a paperback or my Kindle than a hardback book. And book of the month is always hardback, but they do look really good on my shelf. Anyway, this one was 4 stars, leaning towards 5, so like 4.5 on the upper end of a 4-star. This was like the perfect blend of spice and sweet romance. There was also a really good storyline that like, kept you engaged the whole time. So I thought it was just like a really good blend of all the things that I love from a book. So it's not just spice. I'm not just reading smut, which I do. That does happen sometimes, and I do enjoy those books. But I'm not just reading that, and I'm not just reading like sickly sweet romance with no plot line and no meat. It was all of those things mixed together, and it was really good. So 4 stars for Georgie All Along. Next, we have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter, which, if you know me, if you follow me on Instagram or Goodreads or on here, if you've seen my other book videos, I love Lynn Painter. She slays. She kills every book. I've read every book she's read, and all of them are 4 or 5 stars. I read another Lynn Painter book, which I'll talk about later. But The Love Wager is 5 stars. It's similar to Georgie All Along, except maybe less, I don't know. So good, like plot. I love her characters. Always so funny, so witty. The banter is always, like, that is the best part of Lynn Painter books. She has this witty banter between her main characters, and like this like will they won't they kind of, it's really good. So I highly recommend anything by Lynn Painter. She has 2 young adult books out and 3 adult romance books out. I've read all of them, and honestly, I hate to say this, but Better Than the Movies is one of my favorite books I've ever read, and I think it's young adult, and it's one of my, like, it tops so many adult romance books. So if you don't like spice, read Better Than the Movies. It is so good. But The Love Wager, if you do like spice, read it. Because it has that same witty banter of Better Than the Movies, but it's got some spice. Next, we have Funny You Should Ask. And this was kind of viral on Book Talk a while ago. The cover is beautiful, and I give this one 4 stars. It's about a reporter and a movie star falling in love. I love anything with a movie star. That's like a recurring daydream of mine, is movie stars. So love anything with a movie star. This battery is about to die again, so I'm just gonna keep talking until it does. Next, we have Nora Goes Off Script. This was 5 stars. This is more literary fiction than romance, but again, there is a little bit of romance in it. It was really good. Another movie star book. Like I said, it's like normal girl falls in love with movie star. There is a breakup, but it's not a 3rd act breakup, which I love. So many romance books have a 3rd act breakup, and I've just come to expect it. But Nora Goes Off Script does not. So I'll leave it at that. Next, we have Bowling for My Enemy, which is a Dirty Martini Running Club book. I have read the first one. This is the second one. It's like a group of friends. Each of them has their own book. This one is like workplace, enemies to lovers. It was very good. I gave it 4 stars. Next, we have The Newcomer by Mary Kay Andrews. And this is, I would say, a thriller romance. There's definitely a mystery to it, but there's also a romance. And it's a great summer read. It's set in a beach town in Florida. It's just good summer beach read vibes for sure. Next is my other Lynn Painter book that I'm going to talk about, which is Accidentally Amy. This is another adult romance book by her. Again, banter, 10 out of 10. It's also workplace, but it's like mistaken identity kind of thing. So good. And last but not least, we have To Swoon and To Spar, which is a Regency romance. This is the 4th book in a series. I've read the other ones. The Regency Vows is what the series is called. And this one is, I guess, marriage of convenience would be the trope, I would say. But he, in order to get the land that he wants, has to agree to marry this woman whom he does not know. And, you know, one thing leads to another, yada, yada, yada. There's some spice, but not too much. So those are my books that I recommend. Out of the 30 that I've read this year, I give you 17 4 and 5 stars that I say I recommend. They get the Abby Chiles seal of approval. The Abby reads a lot. Okay, my camera just died, so I'm just going to continue this video on my phone. But I was saying those books, they get the seal of approval. That was me stealing that from GBT. I love her. I have really not made it into this, so this has been Books and Booze, episode 2. Maybe I'll film more of these. It's been about a year since I filmed the first one, but it is fun for me to just drink a little drink, talk to you about books. So I'll try and make some more frequently and test out my other cocktail skills, because this is, I would say, beginner level. There's only 3 ingredients. So I will be back hopefully soon for more Books and Booze, but also hopefully with just more content in general. I've been super behind. My life is kind of going crazy for a minute there, but we've got it under control. So cheers to having a good time and reading good books. Love you.